All right, what's going on?
Hey,
What's going
what's going
on?
on, brother? How you living, man?
Oh man, fucking amazing, amazing.
Feel you,
Life is
feel you.
great,
That's all you can ask for, right? That's it.
right? Right? So how's life with you?
Man, you know, this COVID shit, just living, man. Trying to progress, move, you know what I mean? Move and shake. That's just about it, man. Loving life, having fun, enjoying myself, working hard, you know?
Yeah, get my water, get my water, my smoke. You
Okay.
know,
Do your thing,
you know,
bro. I ain't gonna hate on it. Do your thing.
for sure, for sure. So how is how are you adapting to all this COVID shit as an artist? Like before we were able to just like run around, um, you know, be wild. Now we gotta kind of like be in the house, but we still gotta kind of like pursue our dreams, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Um,
yeah,
oh, I thought you was gonna keep going, but
yeah,
I'll cut it. I mean, it's things really it's always although COVID has happened, like as artists it's important to stay inspired, whether that's like watching movies, looking at art, you know what I mean, just staying sharp, you know what I mean, making sure that you, whether that's even going out to go walk at the park, whatever it is to inspire you, you know. My music inspired off of life, so me walking down the street and seeing like five people, I'll like, it'll spark something for me, you know what I mean.
for sure,
So being in New York and shit, obviously it's crazy. Like everything is, you're a sponge to that. So I mean, it's no different. The only difference is that the shows, like you can't physically go out and connect with the fans now. You know what I mean?
right,
So everything is like streaming based. So you got to make sure like uh you're in tune and you got your. I personally don't like to go to the studio. I like or like these big studios. I mean, so
yeah,
like I've invested in myself. I bought myself a microphone, speakers, monitors, and stuff. So I could put out music at any point. You know what I mean? And I feel like for artists in this during this time, that's so important because that's the way we're gonna eat right now. You know what I mean? Is and building up our fan bases is like putting that shit out. You know?
for sure, for sure. I'm definitely a fan of the home recording too. Like back in the day, like you kind of like had to kind of go to the big studios and like kind of like um now I feel like me I'm pretty good when I'm around people I'm not very nervous but I made music before and I found the best thing was just being by myself,
Exactly.
you know, like
Exactly.
that way
It's
if,
something
like
special about tuning into your artistry. But I don't know. It's, you know what I mean? Because like when
yeah,
you have, it's not even like the pressure thing. It's like you want to get into a zone and maybe it's like a vibration thing. You know, some people fit your vibe, some people don't. So it's like it's easier to catch a vibe with yourself and maybe like the engineer. You know what I mean? But I don't have a lot of people either with me. And like whenever I record, it's just either me, my man's, and just an engineer. That's it. It's like nothing more.
like you could have definitely an idea in your head of how you want it to come out and you be trying to make it and like if you don't hit it right on that first take, like some people in the room can be like kind of like, oh man, well what about like, if you try it like this, like it's like no, I just
Yeah,
messed up on that take. I already know how I want this to sound.
exactly, exactly. You already know the vibes, man. You said you rap, or
I did,
you did? Okay, okay.
yeah. That's how I got into this whole thing. I was a rapper, and then I was around a bunch of people that didn't have interviews. And I was
Hmm.
like, I'm like, I'm gonna get all these guys interviews, and fucking, and I started a thing.
Bro, this is a blessing right here. I really appreciate you reaching out. That shit means everything to me. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. And definitely, I was checking out your tracks, and thank you for putting out dope shit. And
Bro,
like,
you know, I'm just glad that there's people out there that can connect with you. You know what I mean? That's all an artist could ever ask for, is that there's at least, a handful of people that really vibe with it and are connecting with it. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's definitely a fresh feeling. I feel like Khaled. I'm like, I got another one that another one that has dope shit. Again, because like there's so much crap out there, and I think some of these artists like they actually need to be recording around a bunch of people because then
Mm,
like so much shit they're not putting out. Um, when you finish your stuff and like do you have like a team of kind of like people like that listen to it like and kind of give you like a critique before you put stuff out?
Absolutely. See, with me and music, it's funny because what I'll do is, and my friends always get mad at me for this, but I'll like record and I'll sit on it and like I'll watch it age like wine, and I'll make sure it doesn't get to the point where it's like vinegar where I can't put it out at that point. But it's like
Right.
I'll let it sit, and like I won't record something and be like, all right, we gotta put this out. Like I'll like sit on it for a good year and then be like listening to it and be like, is this how I feel right now? All right, let's re-record it and then put it out. So I'll like kind of do like rough drafts and get the concepts out, and then like right before I put it out, I'll re-record everything, make sure that it's like down packed. And during that process, that's when I send it to my boys. I send it to everybody. I send it to my girl. I send it to everybody. Like everybody is touching it and listening to it because everybody has their own ear. And although I'm not looking for necessarily like to be critiqued with the work, it's more of like, what do you feel from this? If you feel something, whether it's like you don't like it, that's a feeling. If you know what I mean, how does it make you feel is important to me because that reaction. If it's like I'd rather people be like I feel this way than to be like I'm not getting nothing out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
So
for that method, like the people that have like the kind of like microwave rap that they call it.
mm,
Um, the people that follow the trends, like it's not really a good idea for them to hold on to the stuff for like a year. But the people that have like timeless music, you can hold on to it like for a year. Like sometimes like some of my favorite rappers will like take a while for an album to come out, and then like
exactly,
when it finally drops, you're like, okay, you know,
exactly. That's what I'm
thank
saying.
you for making me wait for this. You know?
Exactly. It's good. It's patience. You know what I mean? It's a game of patience and like being in tune with the feeling and the vibe of what's happening. You know what I mean? Instead of you just like recording a song like, yo, let's put this out because it feels right. Because yo, you might come back and listen to it and be like, maybe that wasn't it. And I've done that in my career path too. You know what I mean? I've dropped
Yeah.
shit where I've now listened to it and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit cringy, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like, all right, this is set. You know what I mean? This is set. This is set.
And with those things out there, sometimes it's hard to get people to have a second listen. Like if they hear that one track that you put out that you weren't really too iffy about, that's the
Hmm.
one track they hear. It's like they're probably not coming back to when you actually have fly shit.
Exactly. Exactly. You get one chance to try to get the person's ear, and that's it. So your approach has got to be A1 from day one. You know what I mean?
What would you say if you could describe like your fan base?
Hmm.
Like for me for my fan base a lot of rappers
Hmm.
because like they like the hip hop talk and they like the you know
Yeah,
the whole shit. So like for me, I got a lot of rappers. But like what would you say your fan base is?
man, it's so like being in tune with the Spotify thing and just seeing like the reach of like the stream and stuff. It's in this day of age, it's kind of hard to describe uh a fan because it can literally be like anybody. And what I'm getting in tune with is like when I like you go through when you're doing your marketing, you're seeing your demographics and who's fucking with it and everything. And what I'm noticing is like people from Gen Z, which they're like 17, still in high school, all the way up until 65. Not it starts to dwindle off because hip hop is like a younger sport, so it tends to be
Yeah,
like the younger and everything like that. But what I'm noticing, it's a lot of high school. It's like a lot of these kids in high school, which it makes me happy because I want to be able to pass that torch down to them because the music that they hear today isn't what it is that I was hearing. I have older siblings and I caught on to hip hop at 9. So, I'm listening to the Locks, I'm listening to Nas, I'm listening to
mm,
DMX, you know what I mean, Rough Riders, like that whole movement, the Diplomats, I'm listening to all this different stuff. And today it's a little different, you know what I mean? It's like a
yeah,
different playing field. So, you know, where everything is so, I don't want to say dance heavy, but like
yeah,
a lot of the music today is meant to make you dance instead of like actually listening to. So It's which I'm cool with the dance and shit. I'm not somebody who's like, yo, fuck that side. I'm like, yo, it's necessary for hip hop. You need everything to coexist.
For
So,
sure.
um,
Me, like I love dancing myself. I love drinking and,
uh-huh.
and going out with like my friends. And the music comes on, I'll I'll
Yeah, you
bust
get
some
your
shit.
little
But like
moves on.
I'll bust out some moves. But like I'm not like 24/7. You know, like I might
Exactly.
want to listen to Nas when I'm on the bus going to work or something like that. You know?
Exactly. It's a vibe thing, and that's the beautiful thing about hip hop. That's what I'm saying. Like my man's put me in tune. This was like 2 3 years ago. This is when like that drill scene really hit New York,
Yeah.
and he put me on Pop Smoke first. And I remember like being like, this shit is different. Like, you know what I mean? So you got to adjust your ear to different things in hip hop, but eventually, there's a time and a place. I find myself like doing workouts listening to it, but when I'm like in my own zone and I won't turn it on, I'll put on something else. So it's like there's always a vibe in hip hop, it's all necessary, you know?
For sure, for sure. Do you find yourself listening to hip hop like a lot, or like me I do listen to hip hop a lot, but like sometimes I'll just throw on some Bob Marley, or or,
Mm,
or sometimes I'll just throw on some R&B. You
yeah.
know, do you find like yourself listening to like other kind of genres a lot, or
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like you have to listen to everything. You can't
yeah,
just be like hip hop, like because it's a lot of music out there. So, besides hip hop, I find myself always drifting into like the psychedelic rock world. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
grunge. Like I be fucking with the Melvins and not necessarily Nirvana. Like Nirvana obviously is up there, everybody knows them, but I try to find these bands that are like more low key to get into it. You know what I mean? Like Mudhoney and shit like that. Just anything heavy and hard. The only thing genre that I kind of like, I give it a listen every now and then is country, but I can't really catch a vibe because I can't relate to it. You know what I mean? I don't have a farm in my backyard. I'm from the city, so it's like it's like,
yeah.
you know
Uh,
what I mean? I can't
there
really
was a
feel it.
guy, I think it was last year or the year before. I think it was the year before, 2019. There was this guy, RMR. He put out this record. It sounded very country, but like the lyrics were very like hip hop. Like he had like an AK-47 in his hand in the video, and he was saying "fuck the cops" and shit like that. And I was like, "Yo, this guy's hip hop out, but like fucking, it sounds like some country shit."
Yeah, yo, but this was funny, yo. I've always, in comparison, because hip hop, when you look at music and everything, hip hop, the lyrics and all that shit comes from, if I'm not mistaken, blues, right? Like the
Yeah,
fucking 12 bar blues. So, like, country also, I feel like country and rap, that's why I feel like it's cousins because they use the bar schemes too. It's just not the same content in a way.
well, I've actually said this on the show before, but I'll say it again. Um, Country and rap are like pretty much like the opposites of each other for if you listen to a country song,
Hmm.
like they start off with everything and then
Mm.
they lose everything. In the hip hop song, we start off with like nothing, and like
Get something.
when we get something out of it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like it's like country and rap are kind of like going like the opposite way.
Exactly. Exactly, yo.
You you, you,
Here's the thing.
you know, be like good for like people featuring together, like have like the hip hop on one side of the song and have the country on the when they feature together,
Hmm.
so that it doesn't go all the way one way, you know?
Exactly, yo. I mean, like whatever people may think, but Little Nas X, he found a trap country vibe that, it's different, but it moves. You know what I mean? It moved people. So, you can't really. That's what I'm saying. Like propelling the culture into another level is what this shit's all about. Whether or not people hate the music or not, it's still putting hip hop in a different light and a different atmosphere. Which is always good. It keeps it alive for the culture and everything.
For sure. Like when I was a young kid, um, I wasn't right into hip hop at first. I was a fan of like Nirvana,
Hmm.
Pantera, Korn.
Okay.
I had the Korn their Family Values VHS, and
Ooh,
I had the VHS. Yeah, I'm old.
ooh, VA. Nah, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, Yeah, I had the VHS, but when I watched that tour, Cube was on there, Ice Cube, and then like the song Wicked, I heard like I'm like, oh, that was Cube's song first. I'm like, because like I heard it, I was a fan of the Corn version,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, oh, that's something like I'm like, yo, I need to start checking out this guy Cube. So like I started checking out all this shit, and then like after that, I was like, I like this hip hop shit, like. So I started listening to more. I started listening to Dre. I started listening to Snoop. And then
Okay.
I listened to the whole like West Coast thing, and then a buddy of mine had brought over like a bunch of mixtapes he burnt like on like CDs, and like
That's so
he had a Nas one, he had a Biggie one, he had a Gangstar one, and like,
okay.
I started listening to all that, and I was like, I'm like, oh shit. So then like after that, I was like, it's a wrap. I'm like, this is the main shit I'm listening to now. You
Uh-huh.
know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
bro. See, that's the beautiful thing about music, man. It's all tied down. Like people can hate on hip hop as a culture, but and hip hop culture can hate on other genres, but it's all music, man. It's all tied together. There's always something and something that makes something, like even if you look back at Run DMC when they was on, who did they put back on? It was like Walk This Way. They like
Aerosmith.
you said Aerosmith, exactly, exactly. So like, you know, it's and in hip hop it's sample heavy. We sample every fucking thing. So it's like, it it complements each other. It's music.
For
So
sure.
it's beautiful. It's nice to hear you talk about the transition of how you got into it. That's dope as fuck though, straight up.
Yeah, yeah. I was just listening. I was just watching that VHS, and I was like that part of that part came on. I was like, oh shit. You know?
And then you hook. Next thing you know, you listen to this shit like every day.
Exactly.
Straight
Exactly.
up.
Exactly. Yeah. So, what was that moment like? Like, like all of us are like fans of music first, but like, what was that moment when you're like, yeah, I want to start doing this myself?
As far as like the
Um, like
business side,
rapping and
rapping.
making. Yeah.
Um, I say that should start because I always wrote lyrics. I started writing lyrics at like 9 years old. That's when I got introduced to hip hop. So I don't know if you remember, but the PCs came with that little mic, that little small mic, the Windows computers,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it had the record feature on there. That's exactly how I got started. So like there was no obviously we had no music in the background, so you just come up and spit a cappella and shit. So uh, I've always written music and I've always would use it as a tool to kind of like if I was pissed, I'd write crazy shit in my notebook, like wild,
Right.
because I was listening to gangster rap at the time, so I was wild, you know what I
Sure.
mean?
Sure.
So writing all that down, then I'm like, you know, I have to, and I think at high school, that's when I was like, yo, all right, like, because it was a transition from like going to camp versus, all right, you're starting to get older now, like, what are you going to do with your life? And at that point, that's when I was like, you know what? Let's let's hunker down. Let's get a microphone and start recording. And from there, it just kept going. Like what I mean? That's kind of like the foundation of it.
And that's like the beauty of hip hop too, because like with like these other genres, you need to get a guitar, you need to get like a uh
Exactly.
you need to get a drum set, you need to get all the mics set up,
Yup.
um and like all that shit. Like me when I first started, I spent $20 on like a little like computer mic, and
Hmm.
I spent $40 on this program called Hip Hop EJ,
Okay.
and it would have like a bass line and have like a drum line and have like some other stuff. So you basically like take these three things and just line up these three things together
Uh
and make
huh.
a beat. Like it was like the simplest thing to make a beat. Like it was like okay, put a drum line there, put a bass line there, okay, and rap over it, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but I really spent $60 on like my whole setup for I did for my first project. You know, these other genres need like they're like $60. They're like fuck, I can't even get like fucking my guitar strings certain.
Exactly.
You know,
And then
like
with bands and stuff, you need it's a cohesiveness. So like for rappers, we're alone, so we could just get on the mic. If we fuck up, we just fix it. Like if you fuck up with a band, it's like all right, bro, like you gotta tighten this section up. It's a little more complicated. That is the blessing of hip hop. It's like one source,
and
one microphone. Yeah.
and it's also like we can do stuff on our own. Like if like with the band, if like the drummer don't show up,
You out of
like
luck. That's the movement. You fucked. If the drummer don't show up, you
like but in hip hop we can just do it ourselves.
exactly. You just like yo, throw on a beat. Today you can find beats anywhere. You just throw on a beat, get the microphone, hot it up, record it, put it out. You know what I mean? So
Exactly,
yeah, man.
exactly, exactly. So if you were to meet somebody like today and like that never heard your music and you could play them one song,
Mhm.
what would that song be?
See, so my music.
Before answering that,
Okay,
I'll give you two. I'll give you a couple of scenarios.
okay,
Okay, so like I'll give you three people. Um, so one is a business guy. He has a record label and he wants to hear something. And another guy is a guy you just met on the street. He seems cool. You just talk to him. And then the third person is a pretty girl. So
okay,
you got what song are you gonna play for
okay,
me?
okay. So the businessman, I feel like he's gonna need something. He's gonna need that hustle in his ear because you know what I mean. He's gonna need something that's gonna keep his mind going because it's business related. So a lot of my music is coded like that. So I would say for him, I would lean him more towards. I just dropped a new song called IK, which is I Know. So that one for him. The Street Dude, Bolognese. It's a new track that I dropped too. And then for the girls tend to like that. There's a record I have B&H, which is like my first project, and that tends to get the girls moving a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like like for me it sucks that at my work like 'cause people know I've been a rapper for a long time. Like I was a rapper like when I first started there. I've been there forever. But
Hmm.
I put out this song called Liquids. And it's not one of my best songs ever. Like it's one of those things where you put it out and you're like oh shit, fuck, I put that shit out like later on. But like the hook, it went it's all about the liquids when we kiss. It's all about the liquids when she swallows my kids. So like so like
Yo.
but like certain people from I know back then will
Uh,
always like be like we'll be around spots and be like yo it's all about the liquids and I'd be like yo shut up man.
Yo, that's the beautiful thing about rap. See, like you get like people get attached to these little things that we even find is like
Right,
ooh, but for people they don't hear it that way. They just connect with it. It's either yes or no. You know what I mean? So I feel like
right.
artists we get trapped in our heads sometimes with what because yo, I'm telling you, there's been plenty of records where I'm like people are like, yo, this shit's hot, and I can't listen to it because it's my younger voice and I'm not as mature in
Yeah.
my art yet. So I'm like, yo, don't put that on. They're like, this shit is fire. Like, stop. And I'm like, nah, man. You know what I mean? So it's part of the game, man.
How do you feel like when you go in somewhere and they're like somebody's like playing your music? You go over to a friend's house and they're playing your
Mhm.
music. Like for me, like like it's different with music, but like even with videos, like I'll go over and like people want to watch my videos with me, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
I mean, it took me, that's what I'm saying. It takes years in the artistry. At first, I was like that, and now I'm getting to a point where I'm just like, you get comfortable enough in your artistry to the point where like your skin is so thick that like even critique you take it with a grain of salt and you don't let it impact your artistry. You listen to it and you go, okay, that's a different opinion. Like I had somebody come up to me and was like, they were like, yo, like um put you need to put auto tune on your vocals, right? And so very politely, what I mean, I'm like, I appreciate you, but
Yeah,
this is that rap shit. We're not doing no singing over here. This isn't, I do melodies and stuff, but this is
yeah,
rap. So like, if you're looking for the auto tune stuff, you have a lane for that. If you want to come over here, this
sure.
is gonna be that rap shit. So I feel like that that right there is what I guess touches on that point. It's just
Like
like
like for me, like some of the artists like that have like auto tune on their hook, and then
mm,
when it comes down to their verse, and they're just like they come in just busting. It's like okay, you know, like
exactly,
I like some of that shit. So like the auto tune has its time for like certain things. Like it could definitely spice up a hook pretty good, but like yeah, like sometimes when people use it for the whole song, like you know,
exactly. It
like
becomes
if you use it in moderation and use it properly, like it can be pretty dope.
exactly, exactly. So I'm like, there's a lane for that though. I'm trying to, I feel like everybody does it. So me being me, I'm like, like I'll tap. I think the new project that I'm dropping now, I tap into it on the hook, and that's just about it. I'm like, no more. Like that's a little bit I'm gonna give them, like that little aspect right there. So
Yeah,
you know, it's good. It's good to be comfortable as an artist though. Like when you reach that point, But I've been at it for like I'm saying, I started writing since 9. So when it comes to lyrics and stuff, and all that. I'm just like, I don't judge artists off their lyrics because it's subjective. I can't tell the next man, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, these just shit lyrics and everything. And I'm like, that's all subjective because somebody else might hear it and be like, yo, that's fire. Who am I to tell that motherfucker that that's wrong, or that girl to tell that, yo, that's wrong? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of neutral with this rap shit. I don't shit on nobody. I just, I know that there's a lot of bad stuff out there. I do know that. But for me it's more of like the song writing for me, like the way the song is written, than it is like the lyrics for me, which is different. It's a different outlook that I kind of adapted within the past like 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Being in New York City, which I've actually I didn't even plan it this way, but I've had like artists from New York on the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I want to ask so what borough do you think has the best flow like in their raps? Like who flows the best? What borough?
Mm, are we talking about like artists that are already established?
Yeah, like art or even like local guys. You included like
Mm.
the whole thing.
Man, you put me on the spot. This is a tough question because I'm by, like, I love everybody. You know what I mean? I love everybody from New York. So you put me on the spot right now. Like everybody got their own. Everybody got their own because you know, like, see, I've always
Okay. I was saying like flow. I was also gonna say like bars. Let's just go overall music that you're vibing to.
that I'm vibing. Okay,
Who?
typically, it's another hard because it's just so many. It's so many acts in New York, yo. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
got
sure.
you got Jay, Biggie, Brooklyn, Nas, Queens, like, and a whole bunch of other artists. Then you got Manhattan, you got Dipset and like Cam. It's like this. It's like a different flavor. Staten Island, fucking Wu Tang. It's like it. It varies. Now Buffalo, you got Griselda, so it's like
Yeah.
it's like all these great pockets. But my flavor tends to always lean towards Brooklyn.
Okay.
Uh, it's just something about the like I've like Foxy Brown, Shine. Do you know Shine?
Yeah.
Shine and Biggie, like they have this infliction on their vocal range that is just like you're like, yo, they from Brooklyn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think that that's dope. Like that you could kind of pick it, like you could point that out and be like that. You know?
I remember seeing the first video. I think the first time I seen Shine on like Rap City, he's coming through like the hallway, and there's like all Bloods on this side and all Crips on their side. I'm like holy shit, this guy's crazy.
Yo, Shine, yo, he slept. Yo, he. I feel like low key, he slept on. A lot of people don't give him his roses. You know what I mean? He's very. I don't know if he's still rapping today. I haven't heard anything from him. I think he changed his name or something, right? Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, there's a whole like lot going on with him. I don't want to
Yeah.
like really kinda,
But like Godfather Buried Alive, I'm like, yo, please stop. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Sean is he's a dope artist. So yeah, I'm gonna say Brooklyn. Man, you put me on the spot. That's a tough one. I don't want no other bro to get mad at me, man. I love everybody from New York, man. It's all love.
Um, like me, like traveling outside of your city, for me, like I always hear things about like I'm from a small town like Brantford, but like our crime per capita is like high for Canada, right?
Mhm.
So like I always heard like things about Brantford and people be like, oh, that's Brantford shit, and then I started traveling out more like to other cities around here, and kind of like hearing their stories, and um I was like, oh shit, Brantford is kind of crazy. Like, I'm like, so like hearing some other stories from like other people, be like, oh, yeah, this is kind of like, um, you find it kind of like, how is it going outside of New York, like for you, like, because New York, from like I've never been there, but like from what I've heard, it's a whole nother experience. Like, you don't know what it's like until you're here. Like,
Mhm.
what is it like for you, like traveling outside of New York?
Um, as far as like environment things, or like
Yeah,
just like what it is that I see, like little societal
like,
things.
what's different?
Um, First of all, off rip, like no matter where I go, like everything is slow paced to me because in New York everything is just it's like in, out, out, out. Like there's no it's on crack. So it's like everybody's got somewhere to go, everybody's got an agenda, so everybody's like go, go, go. And when you go to other places, you're like, wow, these people are actually somewhat calm. You know, even for them, they may be like, yo, we're not calm. It's fast paced, but I'm like, come to New York, it's on crack. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like there's always something going on, man. Like you walk down the street, you might, you know what I mean? You might see somebody that you admire. You know what I mean? That's the beautiful aspect about it. So it's like, uh, you know, when I traveled. I did my bit of travel. I've been to Holland, you know, Italy, and all this shit, and uh, going out there and then like coming back to New York. It's like as a New Yorker, you're like, yo, I want to get the fuck out of here because the hustle and bustle adds up on you. So like you get the fuck out, and then you get to these places, and you're just like, man, I miss New York. And it's like this weird thing. Like no matter where it is I go, like I could literally go there wherever. I'm always gonna be like, yo, I gotta go home. I gotta, because it's something about just go, 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 go that keeps me going. And I know that it's always changing, and it's in with the new, out with the old. That's just the way it is, you know. So you got to adapt with the times. You got to stay up with technology. You got to stay up with everything because, you know, my man's he moved down to North Carolina. Shouts out to my man Kenny. He moved down to North Carolina, and like I be talking to him, and he, you know, it's funny as hell. Like it's like they're a little bit slower down there. It's like things that by the time they catch on to shit, New York is off it. You know what I mean? Because it's such a big market. You know, I'm not sure if Cali's like that. I still haven't been out there yet. I'm still trying to make my way out there, but
okay.
that would be a good comparison because I don't know how they move out there.
Nice. Yeah, I got my merch.
Okay.
I got my IGTV merch. I feel like I have a proud moment right now where this next order that I'm making, 'cause I've shipped one shirt to the state so far. But this next order I'm shipping to New York and to California. So
Bro,
I'm getting this
congratulations, bro.
push it out there, you know.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Congratulations, man. You know, if I'm getting my merch done too, so we can exchange some shit. You know, you got my DM. Let me know. I can send you some shit. You send me some shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm getting these hoodies together. In fact, hold on, let me see. I don't think I have it on me right now, but tomorrow I should have some shit. I'll send you some pictures. I'll let you know.
So I was saying I've been saying a couple times to different people us as artists and like us that have brands and stuff like that. Um, Me, like, I should probably never wear a Nike shirt again. I should always wear like my Eddie GTV, or like I got Faith the Shadow shirt, or I got a Stacy Brizzle shirt. Like other people that I've got shirts off of that I know, you know,
Yeah.
that have these brands, and like I'm like, why? Like I'm a walking billboard. Why should I wear a Nike shirt?
You see, and that, yo, you see, that's what that mentality. That's a boss. You know, what I mean, that's a boss mentality because truth be told, they know like as much. Especially you already know what comes with rap. Like when Jay-Z was doing something, that's what everybody was doing. You know, when a rapper gets on, he's like, yo, Gucci, Gucci. Next thing you know, Gucci sales is going up. So it's like if you put your own product on the forefront and rock your shit, people are gonna fuck with it, you know, because they fuck with you. And that's what it's about, you know. And clearly, look, you're making plays, people are fucking with that. And that's how, you know, they associate the brand with the name. And they're like, yo, I want that. You know, I want a piece of that. I want to be able to support it. And people are good like that, man. The next thing you know, you keep rocking it, somebody might see it and be like, yo, I want that. You know what I mean? That's just how it
Right,
works, man.
right, right. It's definitely a dope feeling. Like I've had like friends message me and be like, "Yo, I was just out here and I seen a girl rocking your hoodie," and I
Okay.
was like, "It's like when you get those messages, like you're like, oh, that's dope." Like like, when other
Exactly.
people run into people, like it's a conversation piece too, right? Like
Yep.
if somebody's wearing like my shirt and then they run into somebody wearing like another shirt, like one of my other shirts, they're like, "Oh, yeah, Eddie," like
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It makes them go, what's that? And then it's like, oh, this is like, so you know, they get in tune with what you're doing. They watching your videos, and it's a lifestyle. They get connected with it. You know what I mean? I feel like today we're blessed. We're blessed to push merch in a different light than a lot of people later on could. Like, you know, they couldn't really do it the way we're doing it now. So it's really nice, especially with COVID. You know, it's really nice to push some merch and shit.
I got work like I always I don't always wear my IGTV stuff, but like I'll wear it sometimes, but then like I'll wear like a shirt I get from somebody else,
Uh huh.
like another artist. Like we'll do a swap, and when I go in, everybody's like, oh, like they're curious. They're like, what is that?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's like when you really kind of like set like a trend like everything I wear is something like you know like
yeah. Hmm.
when you wear something different, everybody's like, oh, they want to know, right?
Exactly. You plug them up with it, and the next thing you know, they want your merch. So you know, it's a good mentality. It's a good thing. I feel like a lot of artists should adapt to that because you know, you can't just rely on the music. You know, you got to use your platform to elevate you to something else. It's a mentality thing. You know.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot of people people aren't just buying stuff because they like the rapper. People are
Uh,
liking stuff because of the personality. Like like sometimes like there's been times when like I start hearing a rapper
hmm.
and I'm like, oh, his stuff's all right. He's pretty cool. And then I'll hear an interview and like I'm like the shit he's saying is dope in the interview. And like I'll go back and listen to the music and then be like I'll listen to it with a whole other thing, right?
Exactly.
Right. So
Exactly.
people
That's what I'm saying. People connect. You know, people. Shouts out to my man Frias. He's down there. Yeah. You know, people people connect with something that they see, you know what I mean, within themselves in a way. So I feel like that's very it's important to I want if anybody's watching this and they're artists, like, you know, focus on doing you and the rest will happen, you know. Because that's all you can like you doing you right now and you got people loving it, you know what I mean? And
for sure.
that's what it's all about, man. You don't ever want to be something that you're not, you know. It's very
For sure.
important.
For sure. I hit that chronic just a little bit too hard there.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
yeah. So, like, how have you been like staying like just not bored during this whole
uh
like COVID shit? Like
Yeah, man. You know, reading books, reading a lot, getting my financial literacy up. You know, right now is the time learning about stocks and all this shit. You know, trying
that's
to
fine.
elevate it to the next level. You know, because like I said, music is what I love to do. I'm not planning on, you know, regardless. I always say I was like, yo, I'm gonna touch 1 million in my life because that's what I want to do, with or without the music. The music is always gonna come from me. So it's like I'm not. I don't think of when I think of music, I don't think of money.
Right.
So it's like, you know, just staying creative and having fun. Like I record by myself. I'm in here laughing. I'm dying because some of the shit that I'm saying is just like to me, it's like, what is making you say this now? Like you and
Yeah.
you know, what I was telling you earlier on, it's important to just, I'm a sponge, at least for me. So if I go take a walk down the street and I walk into a grocery store and a old lady goes, "Hey," that it's just something in that conversation I'm gonna be able to go back to and be like, let me write this up. You know what I mean? It just works like that. And sometimes I'm blown away of how sensitive I am to my environment. So for artists, I feel like we are sensitive to our environment, and it's very important. I know like shit is tough with COVID. Throw on that mask, and even if you live in the middle of nowhere, just take a walk. You know what I mean? Take a walk, do something.
Yeah,
You know, do push-ups. I do 100 push-ups a day. You know what I mean? Just do something. Read books. You know, keep your mind stimulated, and you know, I haven't really been bored. I've been productive this whole time, you know. So I've been working on music videos, projects and stuff. So I really haven't even had the downtime. And all my downtime I read. So yeah, you know.
yeah. For me, I haven't really had much downtime either. Like once I figured out that I wanted to do like these like interviews, like trying to do like 3 every week,
Hmm.
I was like, that right there, cause like that and selling the merch has been like keeping me like super busy. Like it's like I just wake up, yo, go time. Like like the other day, like I'm on afternoon shift for work.
Hmm.
So like I wake up at like 8 o'clock in the morning and I start doing everything, everything like booking interviews, checking out, like doing everything for this, right? And then like 1 o'clock hits and I'm like, shit, I haven't eaten, I haven't done anything else. And I gotta go to work soon. I'm like, fuck, like, like sometimes like this shit can just take over sometimes, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get lost in the hustle, man. That's another thing, yo. You know Mike Dean, the
Um,
producer?
oh yeah.
Shouts out to him, man. I saw him say he was like he had the IVs hooked up to his arm because he was dehydrated, and he was like, "Artist, yo, we get lost and we spend hours whether you know it's like mixing like what you're doing, getting on this. It's like just take like even if it's 2 minutes, stay hydrated, eat some food because you get lost in the shit. Like seriously, like you
For
get
sure.
trapped in that grind. Next thing you know, it's like what you're saying. You're like, oh shit, it's the afternoon. I haven't eaten. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So health is wealth, artists out there too, man. Health is definitely wealth.
for sure.
Straight up.
For
This,
sure. I was like really feeling weak. I was like, shit. I'm like, it was
yo,
like,
man.
oh fuck. When I, cause I was sitting there, and when I got up, like I was like, oh shit. Like my body isn't feeling like fucking like the greatest, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So I'm
man.
like, fucking like, had to get some
Health
food in.
health is wealth, man. Health is wealth. My pops always was like, yo, what you put in is what you gonna get out. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
very important. It's very important. Stay hydrated. You know what I mean? Look at your pyramid thing. I'm out here preaching nutrition and shit like I'm a professional. I don't know shit. All I know is just stay hydrated, you know?
water is key. Water is key. Like when like I always like it doesn't work for everybody, but like anytime I start getting a headache, I just like chug a bottle of water.
See? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. And pop them vitamins. Take them vites. See, my man staying hydrated right now. See? Look, we about to hold on. We about to
For vitamins, me like I take a vitamin C,
okay.
1,000 milligrams a day. I just take that. I take one of those in the morning when I wake up. But I've heard people say like multivitamins, but like I've heard some bad things about them. Like, do you take vitamins?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. I started taking these. They're called Ritual. They not paying me for this shit like they should
Yeah.
at this point because we out here promoting them on this shit. But like, I started with them, and you know, it's supposed to be cleaner. You know, it's supposed to be easier on your stomach and stuff. I mean, I feel you on the multivitamin thing. There's a lot of shit out there. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. There's definitely I was watching a video on it, and like they're like, well, it has this, this, and this, but like this cancels out this, and like so like it's really just like only like one or two things that are actually affecting you because some of them cancel each other out.
Mm. And on top of that, you should like this shit is like a supplement. So like you really should be getting a lot of your shit from the food that you're eating. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
That's very important because if you're not getting that, it's like the vitamins won't really, it won't fucking matter. You know what I mean? You can take these all day, but if you're not eating the correct food, you're gonna be shit out of luck. You know?
Right. Right. Definitely. I started these videos and I need to make my second one. I did like a Eddie G health tips, and I
Okay.
had like me eating like fruits and stuff like that.
Uh
But
huh.
like but like me like because I do fucked up shit. But like I put a monster in
Yo,
it.
yo, yo, you funny as hell. You funny as hell. Wait, so you put Monster in the?
In like this fruit cup. Like I had like melons, grapes,
Yo,
pineapple.
you funny as hell. Yo, you funny as hell. So you took. I know exactly what you're talking about. You talking about the cup of fruits?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you put the Monster.
you buy it from the grocery store. It comes together. It's like I think it was like $3 or something like that. So the little container has like all like the fruits
Yeah,
mixed
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah. I know
I
exactly what you're talking.
Yeah, I poured a monster in there and fucking man, yo, did it taste good for sure?
Oh, it tasted good.
Yeah, yeah,
That shit sounds different. That's like an energy
yeah.
fruit cup right there. That shit'll get you wired like real quick. Like, yo, you funny as hell, man. I've never in my life heard that shit. I'm about to tell my boys that shit after that. That shit is funny as hell. He said he put the monster in the fruit cup. You
Yeah.
got it, bro. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So you're getting the merch together. What do you feel like when people start going outside, we can actually start getting like a regular shit going. What is like the main things like you're looking forward to?
Oh man, is being in contact with people that I'm trying to connect with.
Sure.
Like really, start doing these shows and just really touching people. It's because everything is so digital right now. You lose touch, and everybody's going through something. So it's hard as an artist. It's sensitive times, and not everybody may be on the same page as you mentally. Whereas when things were normal, I feel like what was keeping people distracted was like the everyday, like the work, the hustle, like you know what I mean. It keeps people distracted. So, but with this and everybody's kind of down or like, it's hard as an artist because you want to connect with people. You want to make sure that you're not, you know, I'm human. I don't want people to think I'm some type of like. I never wanted that. I never wanted any of my fans ever think like I'm better than them. Like it's like this is what I'm good at. This is the thing that I'm great at that I feel. I'm not I'm just like you. I bleed like you. Just like Biggie said, people bleed just like us. So it's like why why go down that? You know what I mean? I'm just here to uh connect with you. And I feel like when you do that, you strip COVID away, people it'll be better. It'll be a better time. There's gonna be a lot of party. I know it should be a year-long party for everybody worldwide. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
it should be a great time. I'm waiting for it because I know shit's gonna get crazy, and I'm hoping for it. But they
Like
talking about in New York, they talking about Broadway. Broadway's not gonna be able to start doing shows until like top of next year, and that's if Broadway's not doing shows, so it's like artists are gonna have to hang on for at least another year at least
yeah,
before we can start doing it where we want to. You know what I mean?
yeah. For me I think it'd be dope when we start doing out get out and people can be in venues and stuff like that. I actually like to book like a couple like really well known artists and like have them fans watch like
Mm.
me and the artist will get on stage and we'll do it I'll do like maybe like 15 minutes with like each artist and have a bunch of artists come through and have the fans watch that shit.
This is like you said, virtual.
No, back when we can actually have
Oh,
people in
so
attendance.
okay, okay, okay.
I want to have like some a bunch of like well known artists have them come through and like
Okay.
I'll talk to them for like 15, 20 minutes, and have a bunch of fans watch it. And at the end, 'cause, like I just started selling this stuff during the like the pandemic.
Hmm.
Never actually been out and like had a like a wet t-shirt contest.
Oh, okay. I see what
Like
you're saying.
I want to have a wet t-shirt contest with white
The
white
white TVs tees.
the white Eddie G TV tees.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I want to have that. I want to have that too. And there's a bunch of things I want to do. You know?
Yeah, man. See, that's what it's all about. That's I'm learning like the digital world is cool and it's a good way to connect and it makes it accessible for people who don't have a major label or major machine to be able to tap into people, but it's even more harder because it's like it's the digital world's like the wild wild west, but in real life it's like you can make that impression real quick. You know what I mean? I feel like balancing the two, traditional and digital marketing, has been something that COVID kind of pushed. Like I didn't realize the importance of the traditional side of things until this happened. Which is shows, because I mean, that's like marketing 101. You do a show, you can touch, the reach is crazy, and if you bring your merch with you, you know what I mean. You can grab a lot of people. Whereas the digital world, everybody's doing Instagram ads and social media ads, and Facebook is in tune, and I feel like they're starting to jerk people around with that, with the advertisement.
Sure. Yeah.
So I mean, it's effective. I do it every now and then, but I do see the playing field shifting a little bit, like with how we're doing marketing and for artists and stuff, and how everything's adapting.
Well, even like prior to COVID, like I had never done like an interview online. Like I always like
Really.
all my interviews were like sit down with people, and we both be in front of the same camera, right?
Hmm.
Like prior to COVID, like none of my stuff was on. Like all those interviews are online. Like I put those on like after we interview.
Hmm.
But like but with this, like yeah, I'm in Canada and you're in the States, and we just shoot the shit.
Exactly. That's
You know,
yo.
with the online shit, it's like
The pandemic definitely did that. It made it. You're right about that. It opened up a different lane. It
yeah,
definitely did. It allowed, because I don't know when I think I got into it when French Montana was doing the battle with Tory Lanez
oh
or
yeah,
something like that. That's when it kind of like I was like, oh shit, this live shit's gonna go crazy. Like people are gonna start using this as a platform. Fat Joe's doing it now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of people
I, I,
tapped in.
I'm a big fan of the Fat Joe show.
Fat Jojo, yeah, yeah, he be
Yeah,
having
yeah. The
yo,
Big
Joe's
Show,
funny as
Big
yeah. Fat
yeah.
Joe's
That's
funny
just
as
fire.
hell. Word. But yeah, man, kudos to you, man, for doing this shit, because it takes a lot of balls,
Yeah,
and you know, I see the vision, man. I just want, when you reached out to me, I appreciate it. I just wanted to let you know that shit. That shit meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you reaching out, sending the olive branch, and being like, bro, let's see what's up. You know.
definitely, definitely. So like where can people find the music and and get in touch with you and book you and stuff and like
Yeah,
how can
man,
uh,
definitely. Oh, my phone, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead, bro.
no, I was saying how can people get a hold of you, get a hold of the music and everything like that.
Um, you can, my music is all over the stream. I kind of converted. I had to get off of SoundCloud. Uh, I found it getting like really saturated and stuff. So I was like, I didn't like people being like, "Oh, you're a SoundCloud rapper." I'm like, just stop, stop that. All right. So I had to like get my own. I had to invest in my website and stuff. So you can check out all my music is on my website. KingJamesIII.com. And I always post up. I mean, my people who follow me on Instagram already know when I post something, they go straight to the website. It's almost automatic. It's like you see new shit, just go straight to the website. I'll have the newest shit up there. So right now I have Supplanter up there, which is a project that I released the first week of December, which is dedicated to my grandfather, my father, and it's like each song is us, the three Jameses. So it's like Bolognese, like I told you earlier, is me, and I got a video dropping. Uh, Shouts out to Revan. He shot that shit, and that's coming out hopefully in the next 2 weeks. But we got that coming, and that's off of Supplanter. And you can check me out on all streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify. I'm trying to figure out a system how I can give people music without, because I know a lot of my homies don't have streaming.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to figure out a different way to give that out without fucking up the quality of the music a little bit. So I started putting stuff on YouTube besides the videos and everything, just try to make sure everybody can get it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not exclusive with this shit. So
Like for me, like it's weird. Like some people say, oh, artists I know that they'll be like, oh, my stuff's on all streaming platforms. I'm like I actually got Tidal, and I find it's not on there, but oh, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, but like I don't know, like when I looked at what like streaming services pay out the most,
mhm.
um Tidal was like the highest one.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yo, I'm like I'll fuck with Tidal because they're paying the artists the most. But like these like distro kids or whatever it is, like people be like, oh, my stuff's on all the streaming platforms, but meanwhile it's not on there. I don't know why.
Mm. That's interesting. Yo, let me know earlier if my shit's on there, because I could try to figure some shit out, because
I'll search it up.
check it out, let me know, because that'll be interesting, because they tell you it's supposed, that's the thing about distribution today. It's like back then it was like 3 years ago, it was like you get on Apple, the people were like, what the fuck, like how the hell did you get up there? And it's like now everybody can do it. So there something else is going to change, like something has to happen in order for it to be, for the playing field to even out. Because I feel like right now everybody's kind of like, I'm glad I got out of SoundCloud when I did. I got out of SoundCloud like 3 years ago, and I just been posting all my music on there, trying to build up a fan base on Spotify rather than SoundCloud. Because
Yeah,
it's saturated. It's saturated. I didn't like what came with it. It's like even if you didn't even sound like a SoundCloud rapper, it's like if you blew up off there, you're a SoundCloud rapper. That's how you blew up. And I was like, that's so
yeah,
disrespectful. Like these guys are just artists. They're just using the platform to get their
yeah,
fans. It's not fair to be like, oh, these SoundCloud rappers. Now it's a whole genre. I heard. I'm like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how this shit works.
for sure, for sure. I remember like back in the day, I was trying to get my music on Napster,
Okay.
and like I was like when Metallica and them were like suing Napster and shit like that, I was like, how do I get my shit on there?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yo, Napster. I'm surprised nobody sued LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire was a huge one.
You could. I don't know if there's anybody out there that could like attest to this shit, but you already know LimeWire was a problem. I mean,
Woo!
you could get,
You get videos on there too.
you could get anything on there,
Yeah,
movies, music, games. Like, you
yeah.
could get anything on LimeWire. Like, I'm
LimeWire
surprised
was
nobody sued them. I think Napster started that whole foundation. They all point the finger at them, but like LimeWire really like.
eight.
LimeWire was really the one that was
Yeah,
really
LimeWire was like getting traffic, like serious traffic.
that shit was fucking everything up. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But like even LimeWire too, I was trying to get my music on there. Like I
you
was
trying to
like,
get your music on LimeWire?
I'm like, yo, I'm like, because like at the time, like I was like I think it was a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
put my music out. I was like, hey, if I get my shit on here, like, what if somebody from like, the states like downloads my shit? Or
Mm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I was like, I'm like,
That's
yo,
right,
what if
because you from
somebody?
Canada.